All right, thank y'all for joining us. In this video demo, we are going to show you how to use BiT Mobile. And so in the previous slides, we talked through how to download the BiT Mobile app on Android or iPhone. And so once that's downloaded, you'll open the app. You'll be prompted to log into your account. I've already logged in here. Again, if you don't have a KSU TAB account, just like all of our other e-tools, you'll want to create one in order to use this. But with that, so one of the first things you'll want to do once you um, get into BiT and you are on your landing screen like this, you'll want to hit sync and you'll get this pop-up and then hit update. So this ensures that you have the most up-to-date information for all of your sites in case, right before you started using BiT, you were working on it on the desktop version, or maybe you've entered stuff in here while you're out in the field and you saved it offline, but it hasn't come into this yet. So be sure to hit sync before you ever start doing anything, just to make sure you have all of your data in there. And then from there, you'll be able to see in this drop-down menu your different programs that you might have. So here I have two programs. One's called Leslie City Brownfields Inventory, and the other Leslie City Redevelopment Inventory. You can create your programs however you would like. They can be set up where it's, just city of blank inventory, but you can inventory also by purely vacant buildings, industrial buildings, by different contamination concerns, by sites that maybe you're going to use specifically for brownfields funding, but sites that are going to go immediately into redevelopment. Maybe a redeveloper has their own funds to address environmental concerns. Whatever you see as working best for your program. So you can pick. So here in my redevelopment inventory, I have one site. And then in my brownfields inventory, I have two sites. And then when you create a program, you just click this button, create new program, and you give it a name, and then you hit save offline. And that's all it is. Very simple. Let's see, we can just call this test, save offline. So now in my drop-down menu, I have three, the two I previously showed you, and now test. And then from that, you can click create site. You can add a site to the program. So we can call it test one, click continue. So now I'm in the actual site specific data entry section for test site one under program test. And I can enter in site information. So that'll be location of the site, past use, history of the site, all of that. Now I'm gonna hit the back button and we're gonna look at the sites I've already entered in my other inventory. So we'll click on a site. So now I'm at it, at the profile for this one. So if we hit site information and site details, we can see here's my site name and then site status. We can change this around. We can say, let's say it was in the cleanup phase and now we're going into the redevelopment phase. And, history, here I have it listed as vacant. If the site is already entered into EPA's database and has a acres property ID number, you can add that here. Here, the current use, it would be vacant, but for history, I just put old automobile factory. You could put past ownership if you want. For address, I gave it just a fake address in Houston, Texas. Parcel and allotment numbers, census tracts, you can put all of that here, as well as prominent past uses. One thing that's really interesting about this, when you're on the mobile app, and let's say you're actually at your site that you're entering this information in for, you can, let's delete the Latin long that I put in here. And if you're prompted, so I've already been prompted this when I've used this in the past, but it'll ask you, can it use location services on the app? I highly recommend selecting, while using the app, because you can use this feature here where it says view map. So it will set a pin right now to exactly where you're located. And so it will recognize where you're located and set that pin. So if you're in the field at the site, and maybe it's got a confusing kind of like address sort of, you can just do those Latin longs and it'll save exactly where you are. You can hit save. You can also in this bottom right-hand corner, you see where it says get directions. Let's say you have a site that you are going to go visit and its location information is already entered into BiT. You can hit that get directions and it will save, or it will tell you directions of where you are and how to get to that site. So it's a really useful tool. Then click save on device. And then we'll go back and you can keep going through and entering all of the data that you want for this site. Actually, one thing, we're going to go back to site information, site details. We'll go to the bottom. So here it's going to ask you property documents available. You'll want to turn that on. And here, I don't have any videos for the property. I don't actually have any photos for the property, but there's property photographs available. You can turn that on. And you also have this camera button in the top right corner that you can click and give access to your camera, and you can take a picture. So I'm just taking a picture of my desktop. I'm here working in the office, but we'll do that and you'll give the picture a name. Okay, and then you can hit back. Again, save your work, say save on device. And then you can hit back and back as well. And then at the bottom of the site, you can say view documents, and you can view all of these photos that are associated with your site. So again, this is BiT Mobile is great to use in the field when you're right there in front of the building. Take all the photographs you want, get that location information super accurate, and enter as much information as you can while you're using it. So again, save on device. We hit back and then always hit sync and update.